jumped ahead in time. It's a Thursday morning here, and I'm off on a little bit of a Planet Tug adventure. The thing is, a while back I got a new passport. My old passport, my Canadian passport, the pages were filled up. So I had no choice. I had to get a new Canadian passport. So I did. And now what I need to do is visit immigration and get them to update their records, because my computer records with immigration are all connected with my old passport number, and my entry stamp into Malaysia is stamped on the page of my old passport, which is no longer good. So I have to somehow get somebody to transfer all my data over to the new passport. And I already went to one immigration office this morning. I just typed immigration into the internet, asked the internet where is a Malaysian immigration office, and I found one. And so I went there, hopped on the MRT, the LRT, all of that, went for a bit of a walk, and I went to this immigration office. It's quite a big one, very modern and well designed and all that, but they said, no, this is only for Malaysians. This is where Malaysians get their passports. They can't do anything for foreigners. So they tried to tell me where to go, like there's another immigration office I have to go to. But you know how it is in these offices? They put them behind bulletproof glass. I can't hear them. I can't hear a word they're saying. They tell me, oh, you have to go here. And I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have no idea what you just said. And then they say it again and again, and I can't hear anything they're saying. And then I typed immigration into Google Maps again, and I found the office I think they were talking about. And then I put it underneath the glass so that the woman could look at Google Maps, and she kind of glanced at it and shoved it back and said, yeah, that's the one. But I don't know if she knew what she was looking at. But anyway, now I'm trying to get to this other immigration office, and it's way out in the middle of nowhere. There's no LRT, MRT stations anywhere nearby. So I think I'm totally lost. The only way to get there is by bus. And I did all this research, and I found a bus that goes there. It takes about an hour, as far as I can tell. But I never know where. That's my one issue with transportation in Kuala Lumpur. That's why I use the LRT and MRT so much. The buses are just a mystery to me. Like 850, I'm looking for bus 851, and it says I can just get it over there by Masjid Jamek, but there's absolutely no way. There's nowhere there for a bus to stop. I can never find bus stops. I see the buses going by all the time, but it's never very clear to me where you stand at the side of the road to wait for this bus. I can never find bus stops and bus signs. Oh, there goes a bus. I wonder if that one's mine. I stood there by Masjid Jamek where I thought buses would stop, and but no, they all just blew past. So now I'm walking up the street in this direction. There goes a bus 180. That's not mine. But yeah, I mean, the roads here are not designed for pedestrians, so it's hard enough just to walk beside the road, because like, yeah, there's no sidewalks or anything like that. So you can't really just yeah, like, oh, I ended up right out here. And of course you can't walk along the road because there's nowhere to go. Okay, this is a bridge over the river, and there's a complicated intersection here. Oh, there's a Go KL bus. Another one. That's not what I want though. Anyway, I'm gonna have to pause here at this intersection and reset and try to figure out how I can get on one of these buses. But I think if it's possible at all, it's got to be on the other side of this roundabout. There's no way I can get on a bus on this side. But as a pedestrian, how in the world do you get across this? I have no idea. Probably just have to do my usual, like run across the highway. There won't be any pedestrian crossing options, I don't think. Yeah, I think I just have to run across here somehow or other. I seem to be on the right track. As I said, I just have to get over there and walk maybe half a kilometer. On Google Maps, there's a little black dot that seems to mark an actual bus stop where the buses will stop. Ooh, look at this. Pedestrian crossing. Maybe I was bad-mouthing the city too early. Yeah. Oh, they actually have a little pedestrian crossing here. It was hidden, though. Wow, isn't this cool? There's some sort of a demonstration or a parade going on over there. I can hear the music. When I was at the other immigration office, they told me, that's where they told me I can't do that there. I have to go to this other one. I did look into taking Grab, but they said we were in the middle of the rush period and it would cost 35 ringgit to get there by Grab. So I thought, I'll just try to figure out how to get there by bus. There's the demonstration over there. I thought I had this whole thing figured out because the immigration office that I found, I could get there by LRT, monorail, then LRT, and only a little bit of walking. So I thought I could get there fresh, not hot and sweaty, not already flustered, but it didn't work out. So by the time I get to this immigration office, I'm just going to be drenched in sweat. And I think I found a bus stop. It's some sort of a, yeah, it says bus here. And in my experience, though, even when you find a bus stop, they don't actually tell you what buses come here. Maybe that's just a feature of the modern world where everybody does everything in an app. So a local person doesn't need signs. They just look it up on an app. Or maybe QR code? Oh, okay. Rapid Kale. Oh, that's on demand. That's different. Yeah, this is a whole brand new service I just heard about recently. There's a van service, but I don't know how all of that works. But like, here's a bus stop. I assume because it says bus there on the road, but it doesn't, there's no sign. It doesn't tell you what buses come here. So I'm gonna have to just guess that bus 851 comes here. Nope, I went in the wrong direction. I do that all the time on roundabouts. You go into the roundabout and you're going around in a circle and there's all these different exits off of the circle, and I took the wrong one. So in fact, even if that is a bus stop, any bus that goes there is not going where I need to go. So I have to return to this roundabout and then get across. That's my road over there where the demonstration is going. And that's why all this traffic is backed up. The police were directing traffic to let this demonstration go through. I got up really early this morning, got it prepared, everything prepared in advance, and I left at the crack of dawn because I heard that these immigration offices get really busy and you want to get there as soon as they open in order to get a queue number. But yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised that there was a pedestrian crossing over here, but there's definitely not one over here, so you just basically have to risk it. I found a bus station, or bus stop I should say, and I see a bus coming. It may even be my bus, 851. touch and go. Despite all the twists and turns, things worked out pretty well, because as soon as I got to the correct bus stop, bus 851 just showed up like right away. So I managed to hop on, and yeah, like I said, where this immigration office is located is really hard to get to. It's, I mean, you're out here basically in the highway system. Like even the city bus is on this highway system. I remember when I first came to KL a long time ago, trying to ride my bicycle around here, because there's a few attractions out here, like a beautiful mosque and government buildings and things like that. And I tried to visit all these places by bicycle, but I kept getting blocked by this highway, and I ended up riding my bike down this highway system, and it became extremely difficult. So I quickly gave up. But yeah, this whole area is a lot of government buildings. Yeah, it's just not a friendly district for public transportation and for bicycles or walking. But I guess if you find the right bus and figure it all out beforehand, you can eventually work it out. Run into a little bit of a traffic jam, some congestion anyway. Yeah, can you imagine trying to navigate this on a bicycle? Just, yeah, couldn't be done really. Right here? Good, thank you. I just got off the bus. That's my bus up there at the intersection, bus 851. And assuming I'm in the right neighborhood, assuming I'm still in the correct city, immigration should be over here on my right. And the bus driver was very helpful in terms of taking me to the right stop and telling me where to get off. Because I had no idea. I did all my research on Google Maps and figured everything out as best I could, but the route had me getting off the bus much earlier than this. But as we were going along on the bus, I was waiting for a bus stop. I was up at the front of the bus and I was waiting to see a bus stop, and I would tell the driver, oh, here, but there were none. Like all the people we picked up and dropped off, they were just waving down the bus at random spots at the side of the road. I think they were official pickup points, but there's no signs to indicate that they are. So we ended up going right past the places where I thought I had to get off. And I told the bus driver, oh, like next stop, please. And he said, where are you going? And I said, well, to immigration. And he says, no, not here. You have to go to the final stop. So I just took him at his word. And we went for a ride, man, because this whole area is all like Artemis Heights right here behind me, massive, like Dutamas, massive buildings. There's all government offices everywhere, huge complexes. And we went in and out of all of these official complexes with security guards and security gates. And man, these bus drivers, they have a hard job, I gotta say. Riding the bus is not that easy, but driving it, oh my God, my goodness. The tight corners, all the cars blocking everywhere he wants to go, people double parking, triple parking. Well, yeah, he really had to work hard to navigate his bus through these streets. But anyway, I think the government building is right over there, I think. Now that I'm here, some memories, deep memories are trickling back, because I remember coming here before to Publica. There's even camping stores in there, I think, like big, like camping outdoor gear kind of shops. And I remember taking a bus to Publica because I knew immigration was close to Publica. And I think ages ago, like 5-7 years ago, maybe, however long it's been, I came here to get a visa extension. Nearly got killed here a couple of times. Nobody's using their signal lights, their turn signals. They waited for me, and the one driver who had their turn signal on actually stopped to let me get across. Courteous driver. But man, what a journey to get here. Oh, I'm exhausted. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in there and they're going to tell me, oh, no, we can't do that here, sir. You have to do it at the airport. My original plan was just to do it at the airport as I leave Malaysia, or like a border crossing to Singapore, the ferry back to Sumatra, whatever I end up doing. I thought I could hand over my 2 passports and they would take care of it on the spot. But I thought, just in case, let's try and get it taken care of before then. I've got time on my hands right now, so I thought, let's go do this now. But I was hoping to be here at like 8 o'clock in the morning to avoid the crowds. So there's there's my nemesis, this giant gray building. If I remember right, it's huge, and could be an adventure trying to figure out where it is I'm supposed to go. All right, Mr. Driver, you can go more than 2 kilometers an hour if you wish. Oh boy, a very unsure driver. So of course I'm going to have to put away all my cameras when I get to the entrance to this building. It's just hard to get into the building. I can't find the entrance. I found this little door here and some stairs. Got to get it through this wall. So I think I have to go through this little doorway. Anyway, I'm going to turn off my computer. Some memories are coming back about my previous visit. I remember now. I came to get a visa extension, and when I arrived, all their computer systems crashed. Everything went down, and I was here all day. It was an entire day affair, waiting and waiting and waiting until the computer system, because my application was in process, and then the computers went down. They said, we just have to wait until they turn on again. And I was here the whole day. I remember that now. Not a good omen. Anyway, gonna put my GoPro away and head inside, see what happens. So I've been here for what feels like forever already. This building is massive. There are so many floors and sections and areas, and it's impossible, for me anyway, to figure out where I'm supposed to go. And they've just sent me from department to department, from room to room, desk to desk. And I could be here for hours. I could be here for the rest of my life, and I would never find anything related to what I want to do. I did a Google Translate for this, and it's all about foreign workers, like maids and things like that. But this is the closest I've come to anything to do with like non-Malaysian, like a foreigner. And check out this area back here. But anyway, I've already been in there. I talked to the people at the information desk. They have no idea what I'm asking them. There's nothing in there that can help me. And I don't know. I'm just going to give up. There's nothing I can do. I'd rather go to immigration jail than deal with this place, to be honest. They're doing so many things here. It's overwhelming. There's there's no section for tourism. Like, there's no tourist visa area. There's nothing in English anywhere at all. There is an information desk here at the main entrance, but it's completely unstaffed. So there's nobody at the information desk, like right up here. Like when you come in the building, this is what you see first. Right there. And there's nobody there. And I've been here, I don't know how long I've been here. And I keep waiting for someone to show up that could speak English, but nobody shows up. And then there's areas over here. This is down on the ground floor. And there's some not as crowded down here. But as far as I don't know what any of these offices are for. Like what people are doing here, I have no idea. I've done the Google Translate on everything. I've asked everyone I can find, but nobody can tell me where to go or what to do. There's more offices over there. Yeah, there's just no end to this place. And nothing at all for a tourist. Nothing at all that I can find. So I don't think they even do what I'm here to do. I don't think anybody here can do it. So I'm just going to give up and do it at the airport, assuming I fly out through the airport. Because, oh, you couldn't pay me to stay here any longer and deal with this any longer. I'm absolutely finished with this place. Yeah, when I came in, there was like a whole bunch of immigration trucks lined up outside, and large groups of men were pouring off these trucks, and they all were holding passports and big bundles of paper, and I think they were all foreign workers arriving to be processed. Yeah, I said I couldn't even find a way into the building. I couldn't find the entrance. This is the front entrance, I guess, but I wasn't able to track it down. And I went up to like one of the security men who was guarding all these workers who were here being processed. Yeah, let me turn around. I think this is this has to be the main entrance. Okay. Yeah, when I approached the building, I was on the other side. So I was far away from this entrance area. Complex. I don't even know what any of that means. Let's do a Google Translate on that. I haven't found a single sign anywhere that says anything about immigration. Like there's no sign anywhere that says this is the immigration building, and certainly not a single sign about tourism, which I find kind of ironic because next year, so this says Interior Ministry Complex. So for all I know, I'm in the wrong building. Maybe this isn't even immigration at all, but on Google Maps, it's listed as immigration. But anyway, I was just saying that I walked up to this security guard, like an armed soldier who was guarding all these workers. And I just asked him, is this immigration? Like, is this the immigration building? And even that encounter kind of went sideways because he demanded to see my passport. Like, I just wanted to know, is this immigration? And he's like, give me your passport. And you know, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not. Anyway, I had no choice, of course. He had all the guns, and I gave him my 2 passports. And then, of course, he doesn't know anything. He asked me what I'm here to do, and I tried to tell him I got a new passport and I need to transfer my records over to my new passport number. He had no idea what I was talking about. And he wanted to see my immigration stamp when I came into the country. So he basically, because I went up to him to ask him a question, he started interrogating me. And then he found my immigration stamp, which goes back to August 16th. And then he says, oh, August 16th, you overstay. You're here too long. And I think he was getting ready to arrest me. And then I had to tell him, no, it's a 90-day social visit pass. So no, it's not expired yet. And anyway, just asking the guard for information felt like it almost got me arrested. So I stopped talking to guards. Now, how the heck do I get out of this place? Yeah, what a giant waste of time. Wasted a whole day trying to come here and deal with this. I don't know how to get out. I don't know where I am. I have to say, it makes me feel infinitely better about my experiences in Sumatra, because they have so many immigration offices there that are there for tourists, for foreign visitors. Anywhere you go in the country, like Sumatra probably has 30 of them spread out over the whole island, and every one of them is set up so nicely. I mean, I ran into some bureaucratic issues that you find. You go to these immigration offices and they're small and they're cozy and they're friendly, and they really have they have lots of English, tourism signs, information signs. They have little coffee stations. You can get cold water to drink. Very, like, really well set up for a foreign visitor. But this building clearly is not meant for foreigners. So a tourist like me, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I give up. Actually, after I talked to the guard, and he finally let me go, and then I asked him, like, okay, is this immigration? And he said yes. And I asked him, like, where is the entrance? And he pointed to this door. This is the door where I went in. He says, yeah, that's the entrance there. I said, what? I can't be the entrance to immigration. He said, yeah, just go here. And he told me, go up these stairs. But he didn't know what I was here to do. He thought I was here to deal with an expired visa. Nothing would convince him that I was in the country legally. So anyway, whatever you do, don't talk to men with guns. But yeah, this is where I came in originally. And these are like one of the trucks that was pulling up. And all these men were piling out of these trucks. And now they're lined up being processed here. So yeah, this whole place is designed either for Malaysians or for foreign workers, not for tourists. Even if there is a tourism office in there, whoever is in that office, I'm pretty sure, never does anything. Like, no foreign tourist is ever going to come out here. So even if there is a department in there somewhere in this massive complex that could do what I need them to do, I'm sure they don't know how to do it. It's not something they would do every day. They did it once in their lifetime, and they don't know the procedure. So no, I'm done. I'm giving up. This is actually how I came into the building too, or into the complex, because I couldn't find the front entrance. All I could find were these little stairways going up through a smaller door down below. Anyway, one last look at this massive place. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. No, don't even try. Just go to the airport with your old and new passport, cross your fingers and hope things work out. Coming here, you can't do anything here. So yeah. Typical Planet Doug day, let me tell you. So yeah, when I came up to the building, I think I filmed it a little bit, didn't I? Yeah, this is all I saw. This huge wall, like it's a castle being guarded, and this was the only entrance I could find. So this is how I entered the building, and it just didn't feel right at all. I just felt like, okay, I have no business being here. This is not the place for me. And that turned out to be true. Now I got to figure out how to get back to my part of KL. I'm gonna have to figure out what bus to take to get back. Because yeah, there's no LRT. That's the problem with this part of KL. There's just no LRT or MRT out here that I can find. So if you ever want to come out to this area, like come out to immigration, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you ever do want to come out to immigration, you have to take a grab. Get somebody local to help you out. Coming out here on your own, there's just nothing you can do. All right. I'm on my way home. I went into Publica for a few minutes just to get a cold drink into that big shopping center. But then, yeah, I just came back outside and bus 851, that's the bus I used to come out here, there happened to be a bus 851 just waiting. The driver wasn't in the bus, the doors were closed, but the bus was sitting outside the shopping mall waiting to go, so I just hopped on, and I'm on my way back. But yeah, like I said, this whole area is dedicated to all kinds of government buildings. This famous mosque right here that we're passing by. Some beautiful buildings out in this part of KL. But it's not well served by the LRT system, the MRT system. It doesn't seem to come out here. Not conveniently anyway. This is a city for drivers for the most part, at least this part of the city. And I'm back where all of this started, where I got the bus originally, 851. There was this demonstration going on, and they're still here. I think it's a union, and they seem to be protesting the banks, as far as I can tell. Yeah, National Union of Bank Employees. Workers' voices are silenced, employers' whispers are heard. But I don't know exactly what their grievances are, exactly what's going on. Stop Banktocracy in Malaysia. Oh, look at that. Yeah, they're right in front of the Bank Negara main building. Bank Negara, Malaysia. Wow. They're an energetic group, that is for sure. Almost back at the spot where I get off the bus. There we have it. Rapid KL using your touch and go card. Scan as you get on, scan as you get off, and you're all done.